We'll call meeting to order. Roll call.
Okay, Mayor Westergaard.
Yep.
Boltman.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Here.
Reese.
Yes.
Huss. Thank you.
Here.
Okay, no public forum, consent agenda. Any additions? If not, we need a motion to approve.
So move.
Second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Boltman.
Yep.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Huss. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll open the sealed bids on the property at 218 South Water.
Yeah,
How many bids we get?
we have one.
So it's not bids,
It's
bid.
Bid.
We have a bid.
Just so everybody's aware, we're doing it here in public. Yes.
Bid for Blossom Street property is $300 by Barry Boos.
There you go.
That was also our minimum, was $300, so.
One less thing we gotta worry about.
Yep. I have to know.
Let's
So
take a
we-
look real quick on page 4. Just the parameters of the sale. Just that he would be buying this property. In this case, it's for $300 plus any cost associated with the sale go to Barry. Okay? And from the city's perspective, all we're going to give him is quit claim deed unless he would desire that he wants something else and wants the expense to go along with it.
Nope.
Think about that, will you, a little bit?
Made the lawyer enough.
I'll make a motion, we accept the bid from Barry Boost for $300.
We have to do.
Yeah, what we're going to end
1425?
up doing is approving that, the next resolution, and we'll put Barry's name in that, but it sets a public
Oh,
hearing date
I
then
see.
to sell.
Gotcha. All right.
And then I need to formalize the easements too. If you take a look at page 5, just quickly, that's how big the property is. Everything in blue is included in the property, but those 10-foot easements will be reserved back.
Good.
So,
He just can't build on, that's his property, but he just can't build on it.
not on the 10-foot parts. Yeah.
So we need to approve resolution
Yeah,
1425.
approved resolution, yeah,
Okay, I'll
1425.
make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call.
Waltman.
Yep.
Reese.
Yes.
Huss. Thank you.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay, 1426 is the REAP. We've already went to the supervisors and got that.
Yeah, the application is pretty much done. We just need to approve a resolution that the city council has approved this application. We would seek $75,000 from this REAP fund. And total project cost again is about $263. But Region 12 is preparing that application for us, and again, it'll be for $75,000.
I'll make that motion.
Second, roll call.
Thank you.
Yes.
Huss. Reese.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Waltman.
Yep.
Okay, 1427 is the tax abatement for the new house.
Yeah, this is 2 properties. It's the new house down there in the mayor's backyard. So that's Schaefer's house on Town Bay. And then also Tyson Quirk is tearing down his storage shed in back of the old Shadens building and putting up a much bigger storage shed back there. So he's eligible for tax abatement for that, but these are all in order.
We have motion on 1427.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Huss. Thank you.
Yes.
Waltman.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna have a car show on the 21st September. We need permission from the city to use Lakeshore Park area. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
If so, we need a motion to let him do that.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Give that to Jerry.
All right.
Jerry.
Thank you.
Yes.
Huss. Reese.
Yes.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Waltman.
Yes.
And the financial report.
Let's take a look at that. If we can go to page number 9. This is just our monthly financial report for the end of June, which then, of course, is our end of our fiscal year. So here's our fiscal year-end information. Just want to hit some highlights. And we'll just start talking from the top down, and I'll sure answer any questions if you have any. But the general fund there, you see we ended with a balance of $197,000. And that's pretty darn good. We haven't had a balance that high for a long time. We end up with a balance that's 27% of our general fund expenditures. Sales tax, you see it ended up with a balance of 4,000. It's not, we have a lot more money than that because some of it's invested down in the capital funds. In total, we have about $80,000 of sales tax funds available. Just a couple other options. Whenever you see that trust and agency TNA, all those funds are library related. So that's 5,200 is library. Take a look at water and sewer. We're starting to be able to keep some larger balances in there, which is good. It's going to allow us to do that the water tower project and get us going on that sewer plant project sometime. And then electric fund is also looking pretty good now. We're up to $247,000 in the fund, and I'll show you later that we're doing real good on our rainy day fund on the electric too. Down to the capital funds, we transfer all of the fire department budgets that's unspent. We transfer into this fire department capital fund, and then that's used to help defray cost of new trucks when they roll around. So 11,000, over 11,000 was transferred into that, so now they have a balance of 47,581. Just another thing to think about 3 or 4 lines down is that electric transmission. We had made it a point to transfer money in there from time to time, and we've since stopped. That can always be in the back of your minds somewhere, that whether you have any desire to do any electric transmission work or not. But we do have some funds set aside for it. We do have a couple of construction deposits that we still have yet to return. And one's the DNR electric deposits, actually for when they constructed that 30 acres improvements out there. So that's been 7-8 years ago. We've been trying to give the DNR money for years, and well, they can't really figure out how they want to accept it, because if we just wrote a check to the DNR, it'd go to the state and right into the big pool. You know, if they can figure something way out where we can pay them and have it stay local, they sure would like that. So,
What about if they build that fish house?
however you think you can make that work, maybe it's something that we can work with the LPA on.
So I'm just
Upgrade the bathroom?
upgrade that bathroom.
I'm sure there's lots of projects they'd like.
You need no place to go with the sewer.
There you go. Clean it.
I'm working there. I'm working there.
Well, that bathroom is bad though. It would be nice if they had a good bathroom out there.
It gets talked about every so often. And boy, one time they were really hot on it because they had some money available and it was going to happen. And then it didn't happen.
Where's that up, 38? No.
Ice House Point.
Oh, Ice House, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's,
About August 15th, drive by there about, she'll get a little,
well, I stopped with Timmy the other day. He says, he wouldn't go in there. We're gonna have to go home to him.
that
Go
touch of
behind the
country
tree.
flavor there. All right.
Just a note on our revolving loan fund. Still has $6,800 in it. But I got a call today from Steve and Cindy Snyder working on the old hardware store with all the windows and stuff. And we would expect an application to come to us for that window work now too. And something called the microfilm project, that's the historic preservation people. And we transfer any remaining amounts of their budget into a project for them too. So we transferred $1,257 into this microfilm project. So now they almost have $4,000 that they can continue to microfilm the resorts. And they do recent years now. I don't know how many years they have yet, but they could probably just about get them done. Every year we transfer about $6,600 into this water tower fund. What that is actually the cell tower rent that's paid up there at the water tower. So when we look at our water tower fund now, it's almost $37,000 that could go towards the painting project, which was like $180,000.
Just a little short.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Just a little note on the Pier 25 project. We ended with the balance of $35 left in the Pier 25 project, so that came out pretty good. I actually had to transfer $100 in there to make sure it ended up positive. Few lines down, new line items there. WWTP project, that's the wastewater treatment plant project, and a public works building project. We had budgeted for some money to get transferred into those capital funds. So now we have $20,000 in our wastewater treatment plant project and $10,000 in a public works building set-aside fund. Next three lines down, general capital fund, public works fund, electric capital fund. Those are where we buy equipment out of. And we're not going to buy too much capital items for the $87 left in the general capital fund. But electric has a pretty good balance, and public works is doing okay. Public works is they're up for another new pickup right away, so that'll be most of that money will be spoken for. Just flipping to the next page, the street fund. At the end of the year, we transfer pretty much all of the road use tax money into the street construction funds. We start to have some funds available for the next big street construction project. So we're over $40,000 on that. Next three are the debt funds, and we just continue to make payments out of the debt funds for the water, sewer, and electric debts. And the electric improvement fund, that's the rainy day fund for the electric, and then we're up to $270,000 on the electric fund. So that's getting a little bit better now as far as having some money available for emergencies. Lower left-hand corner, you can see what total balance is, $1.606 million. Any questions?
We're sitting really good.
Our financial standing is pretty good.
I just wanna make
It's pretty
sure.
good knowing that we have some really big things coming down the line.
Yeah,
Sewer plant and everything.
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be an attention getter.
Okay, we have a motion on 1428.
Can we just have a motion to approve the financial report first?
We can do that.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call.
Stankin,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Cleveland,
Yes.
Waltman,
Yes.
Huss?
Yes. Resolution 1428 is authorizing the transfer, right?
Yeah, I've went through, I think we highlighted probably all of those, but by law, we're supposed to have those transfers authorized by the council. If we can do that by this one resolution.
So move.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call.
Waltman,
Yep.
Cleveland,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Huss,
Yes.
Stankin.
Yes.
And the annual audit or examination, option 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, we didn't do very good about getting proposals to perform audit work for us. We sent out proposals to 9 firms, and I heard back from 1. Well, 1 plus Feldman. And this Olson Muehlbauer, they said they don't actually do city audit work, but they do these examinations, the new type of kind of light audit that's required by the state.
Page that on, too.
Two.
Yeah.
Bottom of 2.
So really, what we have is we got a couple options on the. Excuse me. If we want to do a state examination, got a couple options there. Olson Muehlbauer was $3,600 and Feldman was $3,400. To do an audit, cash basis audit was $6,800. Do a cash basis audit plus that accrual basis balance sheet for the electric utility would be another $1,000. It's $7,800. Haven't heard anything from MISO about a need to do that, but I'd like the council to consider that, though, that if we ought to do this, we ought to do an audit and get a balance sheet for the electric utility.
So that's a 7,800 option 3.
Yes.
And how often would we have to do this?
The additional cost really only comes once as far as creating it.
Okay, so we just have to create a one-time deal?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't have to be done every year then, or it will have to be done every year?
It would be able to be updated then every year.
Oh, I'd say.
That wouldn't cost that much.
The initial, the additional cost is in creating it.
So if we create it, then what option would we use after that to update it every year? Would this be like an option 1 then?
To update the,
Is that a yearly process that we gotta update it, or? Is that what you-
we just really don't know what MISO's gonna end up requiring.
Oh,
So the $7,800 will, you think, will suffice MISO
I think so,
currently?
yes.
Okay.
Like I say, I haven't
That's
heard
okay.
back from them. You remember that, I talked with this guy about the fact that they either wanted our extra money or they wanted this balance sheet, and that I needed to talk to this staffer's boss, and his boss was gonna call me. That was over 2 months ago, I bet. Never have heard from him.
So can we like put this on hold until we hear from them again?
Not really,
We're not gonna.
because we need to have something done.
Okay.
As far as our year-end, exam or audit, so.
Okay.
You know, we could do option 1, that's the minimum that's required, and we can do that.
We'd have to
Well,
try
if we
to
do this,
we-
we'll already have for MISO when they
Mm-hmm.
come back to us, if they ever do.
Sure.
You're just trying to be one step ahead of them if it happens.
Yep.
It
Sometimes
takes a
they
while to do this, doesn't it?
Pardon me?
It takes a while to do that audit, doesn't it?
Well, it does. They'll be here doing field work for only 2 or 3 days, but then it always drags on for a couple months after that before we get reports.
and how soon would they expect that from us? If they were to ask for this, they come back and then answer your phone call tomorrow. Is there a timeline that you gotta have this, meet this criteria in a month or 6 months or?
There is a timeline on it, and that we would have failed to meet already. Yeah, so that,
So if we
but
go
we've
ahead
never
and
done it
do
in the past. We failed it every year, if that's the deal, you know?
I'm trying to,
If we go ahead and do it, then do you call them or you just wait till they call you?
If we have the right information, we can get that to them.
Yeah.
But option 3, we gotta do an audit anyway.
And that's a
Just
lot.
remember, you don't have to do an audit. You could do option 1. Just know that every year we gotta do option 1. That's the minimum, every
Right.
year. And the question is, how often would you like to have an audit? Option 1 is not a financial audit. It is really an audit of procedures. Making
I like,
sure
I
that-
like the idea of doing a complete financial audit also. Not only for MISO, but for the taxpayers to look at it also.
We are over $3 million every year. We're over $3 million in
Yeah.
total budget. We're a pretty big operation.
And a lot of that's a one-time thing you said, the $7,800,
Just $1,000
$1,000 of that.
would be one time.
So I like that idea. And it's a lot cheaper than having to put that $30,000 away for a safety deposit
Which we'll
for
never see
MISO
again.
that we'll never see again.
I think we're not gonna spend that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That holds-
I could
that
think
holds.
of a lot better places to put $30,000
Oh, yeah.
than in MISO's pocket.
Well,
Sure.
they'll still ask for it. But
What,
that's-
what do you recommend? I mean,
I think for this one time, we ought to take option 3. We ought to get this balance sheet done. Something that we've never done before, and sometimes it's just good to have the information. You know? And we've never put a value to the electric system. And that's what this basically would do.
I would make a motion that we go with option 3.
Second,
yeah, I'll second it.
roll call.
Okay, Wiltman,
Yes.
Cleveland,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Huss.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, Lon, any updates?
Well,
The alley behind your house is pretty well completed. We'll open it up in a couple of days after this one cures a little bit. Turned out pretty nice, we think. We haven't had a rain on to make sure the water runs, but it looks like it's gonna. There'll be, Max Van Kirk had a couple of concerns about there. There's no way with his driveway and his door that we could keep it all off of his property. Some of it might go on. We tried to make a dish in there. But, and then we also stubbed out a 6-inch line for future. If they ever want to, they don't have to cut the alley. The pipe is stubbed out there and marked off, so. That project's pretty well done. We started the sidewalk project today. We started ripping into that, and then we had a couple problems with jackhammer breaking down and stuff, so we ended up finishing with mine. But, we're gonna get dinged on the sewer plant, I think. We've failed the last 3 tests on CDODs on our effluent. And I think it's because we put them samplers in there and it's such a long hose. We're gonna chlorinate it tomorrow. And I've talked to Brent Mangold about that, and he says, yeah, that'd probably be the thing to do, so. And we should be back on board. I mean, the water going out it will pass, but the tube gets dirty so fast. And, you know, we don't get them reports right away. It takes 2 or 3 weeks before we get the results. Well, then by then, we've already failed, you know. But it'll be, I think, 2, and we'll probably fail this week too. Or on last week's test, it's a 7-day test. And so we'll probably fail it. And we're not failing it dramatically. You know, I think we can have a 35 when we were at like a 37 and a 40 and maybe a 45, I think he said. But the DNR is gonna want answers for that, and we're gonna blame it on them for making us put the sampler in. And I'll put that on the report, that we've taken care of the problem. It was the sampler, not the effluent going out. That was bad. And so, I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. We'll have to just wait and see. I'd like to thank the mayor for the appreciation card. That's nice to get that. I mean, the guys, they all mentioned that that was nice. Thank you. And I see, my wife and I were driving around the other night, and Kenny had a covered pool out there, and I didn't see a building permit for that out there, but I thought I'd bring it up.
Grandkids, they get all what they want. Yeah, there's a lot of water in there too.
We're down to probably 65 to 70 meters left is all. And it's just gonna be a slow process now, but kind of surprised us when we took a count the other day that we were that good. So, that's going along pretty good, I think, so.
How's that working now? I mean, reading meters, all good?
It's working pretty well. I mean, there's some glitches in it yet. You know, it seems like we always have to go out and check a few that it doesn't pick up. But I think we're getting better at it. Probably the biggest time consumer is having to go out and check it, and you always got to stop up. Okay, we used to just call us and read this out. Well, you can't. You got to have the reader. So that takes a little bit of time to go up and get it and stuff. And you know, a lot of times electricians have it and we need it, but that ain't no big deal. It works. So
Good.
Hell of a lot better than what we had.
Good.
I think they're projecting 9 feet going up.
Well, I had to check somebody else's day. Just there's no way. There's no way. There's a way. It's getting now.
It gets that glitch every time it goes by my house.
Makes them fix their drifts.
Well, I don't have any drifts, but we did have, I tell you, that made a big
Oh, yeah.
difference. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
people just won't believe it. You tell them, you know, you walk right outside the guy, it's muddy right there by the yard. It's coming out your garden hose.
I
No, it
didn't-
isn't. Open up and just
Yeah.
running out of there, and that's the
Sure.
problem.
I didn't have it that way. I just set a bucket underneath, you know, I
Oh,
could
yeah.
hear it.
You
And
can
then I
catch it.
just set a bucket underneath in the bathtub, like overnight it would fill it.
Yeah.
Or not even overnight, it wouldn't
Yeah.
take to fill
Don't
that
take
5-gallon
long.
bucket. Stools are real bad.
Oh, yeah,
I tell
you bet.
got a stool leak, then blow
They
it.
started hauling dirt to campground, and that kind of came to a halt. But I don't know what happened,
Yeah, the weather's been nice.
but yeah.
Yeah, they've been hauling to other places. John Healy is hauling that
They
dirt.
took it all over to Wall Lake and
You need to go look at their park. Holy Christ, they got a mess.
Well, they're starting to put a new shelter house in.
Well, yeah, it's a 10-foot drop off down to the playground. 40, I mean, it's like this, right at the edge of the playground. But how are old people gonna walk down that hill?
Really
It'd be
fast.
worse than what it was. Yeah, they'll roll down there.
Roll down.
I don't know, it's bad, it don't look good.
That's Wall Lake's problem. We,
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's it for me, I think.
Did we get a plan so we can use the GPS thing yet?
No, Friday.
Yep, the
Friday.
GPS gets delivered on Friday, and then there's training that day for everybody about how to use that thing. So we've got everything pretty much set up. We had to get a wireless hotspot. It's basically a cell phone hotspot. So we have to do that in order to connect with the regional system. Got that taken care of, and the guy's gonna be here 9:30 on Friday morning. And we'll be good to go there. Other than that, my only other thing is that I have a building permit and all the site plan documents for a Dollar General store. And we will, hopefully that'll come to the council at the next council meeting, and get that thing approved.
Scott, who actually owns that? Is that investors or what is that?
It is a different corporation is whose name the building permit's in.
But it's not anything local invested or anything?
No. And nope, it was some sort of an LLC with an address out of Missouri.
Missouri?
When do they plan to start?
It said September 1st on the building permit.
Well, it'll be tough on the corn, won't it?
Said start September 1st, be
I'm
done
sure
by the
they get
1st
paid
of
for it.
And
December.
that's that
Really?
property that-
We'll see how that goes. That
Larry
seems pretty aggressive.
sold, uh-huh.
Well, you know, you think of those stores, they're not that
next
famous.
to
No.
Jersey,
No,
right?
It's
just
a-
a slab, block walls.
East,
Yeah.
east of
Yeah.
Thirsty Bear.
Thirsty Car.
Did they ever talk to the city about this at all?
Oh, yeah. We've,
So are they projecting how many employees that will create or anything?
I don't know that.
I think this is exciting.
Yes.
It's a big deal.
Good deal.
Yeah.
You bet.
Wow.
I think so.
It's a good thing for the town. We could use that.
Another step.
Being as we lost the hardware, we'll need
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fill some of
Yeah,
that.
this'll have some of that stuff
Right.
that we're missing now.
And the lumberyard's got a little few things, but I think he's out of room, so.
Yeah. Awesome.
Got a lot of room.
That was all,
That's
sir.
it. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second? Meeting adjourned anyway.
Okay.
Whether you like it or not.
Yes, he's coming to the end.
Pretty short.
I'll tell you what coffee
Yeah.
is.